The Big Ten has always been about playing elite defense, and over the last few years, 3 defensive units have redefined what this dominance looks like. Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State, 3 of the most iconic brands in college football, each fielding top-tier defenses with NFL talent, elite disguise, and game-wrecking pressure. And in this system we're learning today, we fuse it all. A match and blitz-heavy defense built to overwhelm quarterbacks with simulated pressures, trap zones, and chaos at every level of the field. Now in this video, we're going to break down 4 plays that are going to give you a head start on running this Big Ten defense, all built at a 3-3 stack and the double mug formation. Then we've got 6 more plays and our playbook live right now on Scheme Kings that will take this whole defense to the next level. Now first we have SS Mike 3 out of 3-3 stack. This starts with an auto walk down from our safety that loads the box and brings nasty interior heat. We're going to be sending both the safety and linebacker straight up the middle, collapsing the pocket fast while keeping a super solid cover 3 shell in behind it to lock down the pass. Then this walk down safety look also gives us a really good run defense that can rack up TFLs. Now to set this up, you want to shift your D-line towards the down safety, then you want to slant your D-line down, then you want to use the backside linebacker in the 3 rec and walk him down 1 to 2 steps towards the line of scrimmage.
All right, with this SS Mike 3, great play because we're going to get this looping action on the inside. All we want to do, walk down, the one step with our user is walk down just kind of 1 to 2 steps over the guard. It's going to help this loop come in, and you're going to see the linebacker is going to go up top and the strong safety is going to loop underneath, and usually one of them, the offensive linemen, are going to get riled up in the middle and one of them is going to come free. Here's another one. Safety is going to go in, linebacker is going to go out. This time he loops all the way around the whole offensive lineman, gets a hit in on the QB. Now, as far as our coverage on the back end, we do have a cover 3 shell. Now, you can leave your flats in seam flats if you want them to match, or you can put hards on the field like they are here, or you can shade up and put curls. It all just kind of depends on game situation and what you want to do. Here we put hard flats on the field. Don't want to give them anything quick and easy. If they start to feel the pressure coming, he tries to check this down, we get a nasty hit out in the flats. Here's one where we shaded up, so we put curl flats on the field. We have our blitz coming in. He blocked an extra guy, so he does actually kind of pick it up. As the user, I'm playing in the middle of the field. I'm looking to see if anything comes free. I have kind of 2 crossers. I was just trying to play them both, force him to hold that ball, and then he's going to try to throw it up over the top. I get there with my user. There's 4 of us at the catch point, and Winfield is off to the races. Here's another one, shade up and put curl flats on the field. Once again, I'm the only player in the middle of the field as the user, so there's pressure coming in his face. I'm able to take both of these guys away with my user. He feels that pressure, forces him to get that ball out, and I high point that football, pick it off with my user, and we got the ball going the other way. Here's another one with hard flats on the field, and with this defense, this safety walking down and this linebacker both on these blitz angles really is a good run fit as well. Really makes us a solid run defense, especially if the handoff goes towards the blitz. So I usually, if it's a shotgun look, I want the blitz lined up opposite of the running back because most handoffs are going to go to that play side. So now you're going to see the linebacker and safety shoot in the backfield, and here this linebacker just shoots in the gap, cleans it up, and just makes a big play in the backfield.
And this is just the beginning. We've got 3 full team breakdowns coming with 2023 Michigan, 2024 Ohio State, and 2022 Penn State. Each is going to be getting their own deep dive into how they shaped this Big Ten defensive system. We'll show you how to implement my favorite match coverages like cover 6 Willie, and all of this is going to be built out of the 4-3 multiple playbook. All 3 of these defenses can be combined into one giant defensive scheme. In 2024, Ohio State finally broke through, winning the national championship behind a suffocating, flexible, and elite defense coordinated by Jim Knowles. Ohio State finished the year 14-2, allowing just 12.9 points per game and delivering one of the most technically sound defenses in program history. Knowles built his system around controlling the line of scrimmage, having multiple fronts and aggressive blitz packages, all while rotating coverages post-snap to confuse even the best quarterbacks. JT and Jack Sawyer were the tone setters up front. Sonny Styles roamed as a hybrid safety, linebacker, enforcer, and Denzel Burke and Caleb Downs controlled the back end of the defense. In College Football 26, we will be mainly using nickel 3-3 over. This is our base defense that lets us adapt to anything the offense throws at us. Plus we have dime 2-3 odd, the mugged up sub package that puts speed on the field and a ton of stress on protections. Michigan's 2023 defense was the most complete unit in college football. Disciplined, disguised, and dominant at every level. They finished 15-0, won the national championship, and led the country in scoring defense, giving up just 10.4 points per game. Jesse Minter's scheme brought NFL structure to the college game, building a too-high disguise system with sim pressures, match coverage, and elite communication across the secondary, with Will Johnson locking down the outside and Mike Sanderstill locking up slot routes and blitzing off the edge. On the line, they had Chris Jenkins and Mason Graham anchoring one of the best interior duos in the country, giving the Wolverines the ability to control gaps without sacrificing coverage. And in College Football 26, we're going to be mainly using dime normal, perfect for disguising coverage and neutralizing spread offenses. And then we have 4-3 even 6-1. This gives you a physical front with extra linebackers to handle power, run, and play action. Penn State's 2022 defense was chaos incarnate, a Manny Diaz-led attack that brought pressure from everywhere and flew to the football like a swarm. They finished 11-2, won the Rose Bowl, and gave up just 18 points per game, ranking top 15 nationally in scoring defense, sacks, and havoc rate. What made this defense terrifying wasn't just speed, it was disguise, disruption, and them coming constantly downhill. Abdul Carter was a freshman phenom flying off the edge. Chop Robinson dominated up front as a one-on-one pass rusher, and the secondary, led by Joey Porter Jr., brought length, pressability, and versatility to their coverages on the back end. In College Football 26, we're going to be mainly using 4-3 over as our base front that puts extra size on the field to control the line, and then we have dime load weak, a pressure-heavy dime package built to overwhelm protections and overload the edges. Okay, so now we're going to go over the principles of this Big Ten defense, and these are going to run through all three of our main defensive schemes. So first, we want to dominate the line of scrimmage. These defenses are built from the front with athletes who can control the run game, collapse the pocket, and absolutely wreck blocking schemes. All three teams in this system fielded dominant front sevens that set the tone early and forced offenses to get into 3rd and long. Whether it's Michigan's dominance from the interior, Ohio State's edge control, or Penn State's chaos, this scheme lets you win the game at the line. And on the back end, this system brings true NFL level concepts. All three teams use match coverage like quarters and cover 6 to shut down passing lanes and take away primary reads. And we're going to be running the same concepts in these defenses with full field match logic that adapts in real time to motion, all of the meta routes, and the go-to formations you will see online. Then this isn't just a blitz heavy defense, it's a defense that keeps quarterbacks guessing from snap to snap. Every team in this system leaned on simulated pressures, creepers, and disguised heat, showing 6, sending 4, and creating free runners. You'll use mug looks, slot blitzes, and post-snap rotations to bring chaos without ever losing structure. Now, the perfect blitz to showcase this philosophy is nickel 2 trap out of 3-3 stack. This is a simulated pressure, meaning we're only bringing 4 rushers, but still generating unblocked defenders off the edge. And then it gives us a really good cover 2 shell in behind it, giving us some really tight coverage across the field. Now, to set this up, slide our D-line to the nickel, then crash our D-line down, then use the backside D-end and drop him out over the middle at the snap. All right, so with this kind of cover 2 sim pressure like this, because now it's going to give us a different look on the back end with this cover 2 zone. We can shade up, shade down, clouds or curls on the field. But now we're only going to be rushing 4 because we're going to be using dropping out with our backside D end. So that's only going to give us 4 rushers, and a lot of the time we are going to get 1 free. So I'm basically at the snap, I'm just going to kind of hover for a second and get out. And that's going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4 players coming. They have 5 offensive linemen, and we are going to get 1 free. We see 2 offensive linemen are going to stay on our user before we drop out, which is going to let this nickel back coming completely unblocked, force him to try to escape the pocket and throw the ball away. Here it is again, rushing off the left once again. We're just going to kind of hover and get out. 2 offensive linemen are going to stay in on me. That means we're only rushing 1, 2,
3, and then the 4th player here who's going to come free, unblocked, right in on the QB, hit as he throws. And look at all the players we have in coverage. We have 3 players over the middle of the field, 2 players deep, and our 2 flat defenders. Just makes us a great pass defense on the back end. So here it is. We're going to drop out. We're going to be getting pressure, and look at all the guys we have in coverage. So we have our flat defender here, linebacker, me over the middle, another linebacker, flat, deep half. 7 players in, dropping out into zone makes it really hard to pass on. We get a nice hit on the ball right there. Here we have cloud flats once again, so we're shading up. We're going to get out, force him to get this ball out quick. He tries to throw this corner route, and our cloud flat is going to sit on that, pick it off, and go the other way with the ball. Here's one where we have hard flat. So if I think, they're going to feel the pressure and try to check it down, shade down, put hard flats. We get pressure off the edge, and we have a hard flat on the field. He tries to go to his check down, and we got both our players right there to corral it, pick it off, and we are going the other way.
Now, if you're loving what you're seeing so far for this Big Ten defensive breakdown, then this is just the beginning. On Scheme Kings, we've launched a brand new full playbook system, and it's already loaded with 7 more blitzes and coverages that you can add to what you've already learned in this video. Every time a new video drops, a new in-depth playbook drops with it. Not at the end of the scheme, not weeks later, same day every time. Inside each playbook, you'll get full breakdowns of every blitz and coverage, adjustments, notes, and when to use icons. And the best part, tap any play and instantly watch the full video breakdown embedded right inside the playbook. And for this Big Ten system, we have the Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State breakdowns coming, with each getting their own full playbooks. Then once the whole scheme is done, there will be an in-game play call sheet coming, so you can know exactly what to call in every situation. And then already on Scheme Kings, we have 2 full playbook systems live, with the air raid offense for college football 26. Then we have our full Fangio defensive scheme up, and all the playbooks are live for Madden 26 as well. And then going forward, every single future scheme on the channel is going to use this same upgraded playbook system, with weekly drops coming, and you get everything for one price instantly as soon as it releases. Right now the whole site is on sale until January 25th. Use code BIG10 for 50% off your first month. Now, if you want to check out the site, I'll link it down in the description below. Okay, so now we are going to look at the personnel we are going to use for this Big Ten defense. Now, the front 7 is the foundation for the entire Big Ten defensive scheme. Now, along our defensive line, we want explosive defensive tackles who can attack gaps, penetrate into the backfield, and wreck blocking schemes. Mason Graham at Michigan is the prototype, a violent, twitchy interior presence who is one of the most disruptive linemen in college football. And at Ohio State, Tyleik Williams brought size and athleticism as a space eater who could still push the pocket. On the edge, we need elite pass rushers who can win one-on-one and get home fast. Jack Sawyer at Ohio State and Chop Robinson at Penn State both brought that level of burst and bend. These are the guys who would make teams pay when they got into 3rd and long. And then these are the 4 cards I'm rocking at these spots. Now, at linebacker, we need do-it-all athletes, fast, mobile, and violent. These guys have to fly downhill against the run, trigger on blitzes, and still be able to cover ground in space. They're also going to be our users in a lot of setups, so they need elite reaction speed, fluid movement, and the ability to go get the football. Now, Junior Colson was the heartbeat of the 2023 Michigan defense, a complete middle linebacker who played with elite instincts and physicality. And at Penn State, Abdul Carter was a pure chaos weapon, able to drop into coverage, roam sideline to sideline, or shoot off the edge like a heat-seeking missile. And here are the 3 linebackers I'm going to be using in this scheme. Now, the next play we're looking at is mid blitz in nickel double mug. This is an all-out man pressure. It is pure heat, 6 rushers screaming straight at the quarterback with tight man coverage behind it. It crushes protections, forces panic throws, and is actually an incredibly good run defense as well. Now, to set this up, spread our D-line, then crash our D-line down, then take the safety manned up on the running back and walk him down directly over the center. All right, so this setup for mid blitz is really incredible. Make sure you spread your D-line and then crash them down. That's the setup I like. Then take whatever safety is in man coverage on the running back, bring him down, and just stand directly over top of that center. And you are going to see we are just going to get multiple free rushers. Look at this. Boom. 2 free rushers in on the QB, man coverage all over. Now, sometimes it's going to be edge players. Sometimes it's going to be guys shooting up the middle. Even if they block their running back, we're also going to get guys free. We block
block their running back here. Boom. He's going to step up in the A gap, going to give us an unblocked edge defender, man coverage all across the board. This is one of the nastiest, absolute scariest zero-man blitzes I have used all year. It is super, super nasty. Once again, we're just going to hover and get out here. He's going to stay into block. And look at this. Running back stays into block. And we're still getting 2 unblocked defenders, okay? And the great part with this is you're going to say, well, you know, we're kind of giving it away with this player walking down over the center. I have 2 other plays where we're doing the exact same thing. One play we're going to break down coming up in this video, plus a breakdown on Scheme Kings that look basically identical. So it is just going to really help confuse your opponent and not let them just going to zero in on this mid blitz. But even if they know you're running it, it is that scary. That stuff tough to stop. Here, the running back goes out on a route. We have a free rusher in. Running backs are a guy in man coverage, so we're just going to get out. Should have been a pick 6 going the other way, but we drop it. Now, if the running back stays into block like he does here, now I'm just going to get out and look for work as the user. I'm basically just running with this all the way across the field. He overthrows it because of the pressure, and I'm able to get there with my user and pick it off. And then the other great thing with this mid blitz is if it's a shotgun type run, like if they're coming out in I form with 3 tight ends, this isn't going to be great. But if it's just a shotgun type run, this is 4th and 1. Look at me shoot the gap with my user. Boom. It can be a disgusting run defense as long as they're not, you know, playing goal line or something. But if it's more of a spread offense and they're trying to run the ball, you can shoot the gaps. Look at this. 3 guys in the backfield as he tries to hand this ball off. This is just one of my favorite plays I have used all year. Then we have cover 3 seam as our counter, a disguised match zone that looks identical to mid blitz pre-snap, but instead of bringing the house, we drop out into a match style cover 3 where we're going to really lock down the entire field and bait the QB into throws when he thinks we're bringing that mid blitz look. The setup, once again, spread our D line, then crash our D line down, then take the middle high safety and walk him down directly over the center. All right, so with this cover 3 match, the reason why this is so good is because we are going to stand over the center with our safety, and this is going to look basically identical to our mid blitz pre-snap. So now they're going to think we're bringing this insane heat in on the QB, and we are going to drop out in this really good match coverage. Now, I'm not going to go over all the rules of cover 3 match here, but I have videos where I break it down. But basically, these seam flats are going to be matching vertical routes up the field by the number 2 or 3 receiver, and these hook curls are going to match running backs to the flats or the number 3 receiver as well. So you can look up videos where I break it down. But for here, as long as you have a general understanding, let your players do the work on the back end. You're going to hover and get out and play over the middle of the field. You're just playing basically deep zone, look for work. Here we get out, match these players all down the field. This seam flat matches this guy all the way down the field. We're going to step up to get a knockout at the catch point. Here's another one, seam flats on the field, and we're just going to get out at the snap, and we're just going to play over the top. And we see, look at this player, he runs a drag, and our seam flat, oh no, it's our hook curl right here, is just going to match it across the field. So hook curls are going to pick up drags, seam flats going to match this player vertical down here. He's just going to pick up this drag across the field, get a knockout at the catch point. Now, here's another one. What you can do if you don't want to mess with the seam flats and match coverage, you can also just shade up and down and turn this into a drop zone cover 3. You're still going to hover, get out, and this one, we're crowding the line of scrimmage. With my user, he thinks it's mid blitz. He has to get that ball out really quick. I see this corner route. I step in front with my user, pick him off, going the other way with the football. So really, really good. Here's another one with seam flats on the field and matched all the way down the field. Look at this. All the vertical routes are getting matched, drag across the field. There is absolutely nothing to throw to. And the great thing with this play, we are still rushing 4, right? With match coverage, we're still going to rush 4. So if they hold the ball too long, we are going to get pressure. He eventually just has to throw that ball up, pick it off. Everybody matched vertical. Here's another one. Oh, this can also be a nice run deep, just like mid blitz. We're crowding the line. We're really just forcing all the offensive linemen to declare. We're just able to totally string this ball out. He tries to cut it back. It's a 1-yard gain. And then the other thing with this is because we are crowding the center, what you're going to see sometimes is all of the offensive linemen pinch inside because there's so many bodies on the inside. It can actually let our DNs come in completely unblocked, even though we're only rushing 4. Look at this, completely unblocked off the edge. I've had this happen 6, 7, 8, 9 times where I'm running this seam flat cover 3 defense, but because everybody gets pinched inside, our defensive end can just come in unblocked off the edge.
All right, now we're going to take a look at our secondary we are going to be using for this defense. At outside corner, we want guys who can play press, long athletic defenders who can disrupt timing at the line and run with vertical routes. Joey Porter Jr. at Penn State was that exact profile, using his length to erase receivers and bait throws with elite technique. Will Johnson at Michigan was one of the best players in the entire country, a true lockdown presence with size, ball skills, and the ability to dominate at the catch point. And these are the 2 outside corners I'm using. For our safeties, we need to be fully interchangeable, able to rotate up or stay deep and make plays on the ball or fly downhill in the run. Now, Caleb Downs at Ohio State is the prototype. Instinctive, physical, and explosive with elite range on the back end. From Michigan, Rod Moore brings that same flexibility, a smart, aggressive safety who can bait quarterbacks into throws and finish plays at all 3 levels. And here are the 2 safeties I am using. Then our nickel and dime players are our hybrids, slot defenders who can cover in tight spaces, trigger downhill in the run game, and show up in pressure packages. Mike Sanderstill at Michigan was elite in this role, one of the most versatile defenders in the country, locking up the slot and flying in untouched on blitzes to blow up screens and pressure quarterbacks. And here's the player I'm using in my nickel spot. And then our last play we're looking at is cover 2 man out of 3-3 stack. And I like to run this in a super unique way where we're going to manually man up both safeties on either the inside slot receivers or a tight end. And our corners are going to press across the board and we can create a wall of coverage underneath while the safeties give us vertical help over the top on the slots and tight ends who tend to be the go-to weapons for most college football 26 offenses. And then one tip I've been experimenting with is using the jammer ability on my outside corners and my nickel back. It gives us really good press animations and makes it harder for receivers to get clean releases, and it can really make this coverage that much better.
All right, so with this version of 2-man under, this is just some idea I had, kind of mess with it, and I think it's a cool wrinkle that we can throw at our opponents. So you're going to see everybody is up and pressed. What you can also do after the call is just press triangle and put and press again at the line and make sure, and then if anybody's kind of half off the line or whatever, they'll come up and press. Now you're going to see over the top, what you're going to basically want to do with your safeties is just pick whatever 2 receivers you think are the most important to take away. For me, that's usually a slot. And then if it's a tight end, or like this guy's more of an inline player here, he's not totally out wide, I feel like he's super dangerous. So I'm just basically going to man those players up. Then we are just going to use the linebacker who's in man coverage on the running back, and we're going to let the other linebacker who's blitzing blitz. Okay, and you're gonna see across the board we get these nasty press animations with that jammer lighting up, where we're really gonna press these guys. You need good corners. This isn't just something like, if you don't have the personnel to try this defense, don't even mess with it. But really nice jam animation on the outside. Let our 4-man rush work, and look at this help over the top right here on the 2 players I felt like were the most important. He tries to go up the seam, and look at this, pressed up at the top plus safety help, no dice. Here I man up both slot receivers. Here this side didn't press down, but because of the alignment sometimes they won't. But if you just press triangle and press again, these guys will walk down and press. But here we're oh yeah, see how I did it, and this guy walked down and pressed. So now we're going to get really nice press animations all across here. But for the really important guys, we're going to get double coverage over the top. So now this guy's pressing and shading underneath. This guy's shading underneath with help over the top. He tries to throw this corner route up along the outside. We get 2 players at the catch point, incomplete pass. Here's another one, rolled down, Press coverage. Let's see the presses across the board. Really nice press on the slot. Really nice underneath coverage right here. Once again, tries to throw a corner out. We have 4 players at the catch point. No dice. Here's an empty look. Now, empty, you have to be a little careful just because now you are going to have to cover a receiver and man, or you could just go on the blitzing linebacker and blitz or do something like that. But let's see what our presses look like. Really nice presses on the outside here. Safety help over the top. He tries to throw the corner route, which people love versus man, but because of how this works, he's going to be playing underneath coverage with deeper man coverage help over the top. Double at the team at the catch point. Not going to work out for you, my guy. And here's one more where if it's ever trips, a lot of the time I'll do both slots. So I'll do both slots on the trip side. Here I did the tight end in the slot though. So here, this guy's going to be shaded underneath coverage, playing trail technique with safety help over the top, and he's able to step underneath, pick this ball off, and it's going the other way. So once again, if you don't have the personnel to try that defense, you don't have to, but I think it's a cool wrinkle you can definitely mix in and throw at your opponent.
Now, if you liked what you've seen here, make sure to check out Scheme Kings. The full Big Ten defensive intro playbook is live with 7 additional plays. And in the playbook, we have our full breakdown, setups, and embedded videos. And all this will help you take this whole scheme to a completely different level. Then to pair with this amazing defense, check out our air raid offense, which is one of the most explosive and dynamic schemes you will use all year in college football 26.